Hey here, want to do a quick video on how to enhance your bowel motility. This is a common issue I see with a lot of my patients, especially when they have digestive issues, brain fog issues, energy issues, hormone issues. It all starts with digestion. And if we're not moving our bowels and evacuating toxins from our intestinal tract, that reabsorption of toxins can affect hormones. Obviously, it's a sign that you may not be breaking down your food and absorbing nutrients and building blocks for your brain chemistry, for your hormones, for energy, for your Krebs cycle, for your mitochondria. Of course, when we start to see these issues spinning out of control, brain fog is a common side effect, mood issues, energy issues, maybe PMS. And so it's really kind of that cornerstone that we have to look at when we have any type of health issues. So, first off, to make sure your bowels are moving adequately, make sure there's not too much sugar, processed carbohydrate, refined carbohydrate, and or common food allergens in your diet. Now, for the most part, this could be grains, this could be dairy, this could be lentils or beans, things like that. There can be more nuanced or granular changes that I have to make in some of my autoimmune like patients. That other foods that sound healthy, even like eggs or nuts, right? Hey, those are good foods, right? But sometimes things as nuanced as that could be problematic. So we may have to look there. Also, if we're stressed out, that's going to be activating our sympathetic fight or flight nervous system. That's like the gas pedal. It's go, 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 go. When you're stressed, your body automatically allocates resources to go to the arms and to the legs to run, fight, and flee, right? So that takes blood away from where? The digestive tract, the central organs. And that's going to make it harder for adequate digestion to happen because you need blood flow. That blood flow helps with enzyme and acid production. And that helps kind of get the overall intestinal tract to a more acidic pH. And as that food then moves along from the stomach into the small intestine, that nice acidic pH triggers some different hormones like cholecystokinin or hormone like kind of peptide that helps the gallbladder contract. That nice acidic pH stimulates the pancreas to make a bunch of bicarbonate, which brings that pH back up to neutral-ish. And it also stimulates the pancreas to make lipase and trypsin, basically protein and fat-based enzymes to help break down that nutrition. So if we have foods that are one, allergenic, activating our fight or flight nervous system. Two, we're not breaking those foods down. That can be problematic. Three, we're just creating inflammation in the intestinal tract, right? I mean, when you create inflammation, what starts to happen is that gut becomes a little bit more porous or permeable. This is called leaky gut, right? Or intestinal permeability in the research. The tight junctions kind of open up. Undigested food particulate can slip through, just kind of like my fingers interlocking. If I create a little bit of space there, my finger on the other side can move through. Same thing with your intestinal tract and different foods. And so if we don't break the foods down, that's a problem. If the foods aren't broken down and they're getting into the bloodstream, that's a problem as well, because this is a major mechanism in how a lot of autoimmune conditions start. Food moves in, your antibodies, your immune system starts to see that food in a larger size and it tries to attack it with various antibodies. And then you have this whole mechanism of molecular mimicry of certain proteins on food look like certain proteins on tissue in the body, i.e., thyroid, pancreas, myelin, etc., hair, right? It could be even tendons, joint ligaments with Sjogren's or lupus or any type of other autoimmune type of condition, RA. This is how it starts, right? And so we talked about sympathetic nervous system and the adrenals. We talked about enzymes, acids. We talked about food allergens. Also, if we have bacterial imbalances in the gut, it could be H. pylori, it could be SIBO, just generalized dysbiosis from bacteria that doesn't belong in the small intestine, or at least at those high of levels. And this could be things like Citrobacter, Klebsiella, Pseudomonas, Morganella, right? These are all different bacteria that can be overgrown at really high levels. When these bacteria are high, they're going to produce lots of different gases. Typically, the methane gas is the most common one that can really throw off motility, and that can jack up your body's ability to move food out of the intestinal tract. I'd also say hormone, like if we have different types of issues in regards to motility, this can also affect hormones too, because then we're not absorbing all the nutrients, the cholesterol, the fats, the fat soluble vitamins, the protein, and these can also spiral out and start to create more hormone issues like PMS or energy issues or just low testosterone, right? Lower libido. So really important on that front. Also, we have to move our intestinal tract to get out a lot of toxins. These could be bound up conjugated hormones like estrogen, right? Or hormones from the environment, xenoestrogens from plastics, from chemicals, pesticides, water, right? So we got to move a lot of these toxins out. It can be different toxins in the environment from mold to heavy metals, who knows, right? And so if we don't have good motility, we can reabsorb a lot of the toxins that we are trying to push out. And so really important. We got to move our bowels, and you can easily have auto intoxication that can throw off your body as well. So hope this helps. Just kind of giving you a little crash course on what to look for, what things to think about. Of course, you got to get foods correct, inflammation correct. You got to get enzymes and acids. You got to get the bugs looked at. You got to get motility looked at. Now, there may be some things we can do to kind of help move the bowels in the meantime. May not be a root cause fix. So different kinds of magnesium can be very helpful at moving the bowels. Ginger can be very helpful. Sometimes 5-HTP, serotonin is an important thing as well. I would also say different bitters can be helpful. Anise, chamomile, lemon balm, orange peel. These are different bitter type of things that can help. Of course, ginger kind of falls into that bitter category as well. I'm trying to think what else could be beneficial. So we obviously the enzymes, the acids, bile support, all very helpful. You can give yourself a nice little kind of uh, looking at it here, a clockwise tummy rub. It's got to be clockwise because if you go counterclockwise, you're going to be moving the bowels the reverse way. So it's got to be clockwise. So leaves left. So if you kind of look at the colon, left side is where the stool leaves. So it should be going down like this. So if you're looking at me like my belly button's the middle of the clock, it should be a clockwise rotation. So hope that helps there. That can be very helpful as well. And of course, just anything to do to activate your parasympathetic nervous system is very helpful. Deep breathing in through the nose 4 or 5 times, out through the nose can be very helpful. And I would also say low-hanging fruit, eat in a very stress-free environment, chew your food up very well, 32 chews or so, oatmeal-like consistency, and then avoid hydrating with food. Try to do that 15 minutes, 10 minutes before, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours afterwards is a good first start. Let me see if you guys have any questions here for me that are pertinent to the topic. Yeah, so UHeal writes in, what helps me a lot is betaine HCl, pepsin. Totally. That's a foundational one. In my line, we use HCl Supreme, Enzyme Synergy, and then I use Liver Supreme for the bile support. I don't like enzyme acid combos because if you only can tolerate a small amount of HCl, like some people with inflamed guts can, guess what? Your enzymes are now capped, right? Because you're combining them. So I like to separate it out so we can hit a therapeutic level if we need. Hey, Shante, hope you are doing well. Look forward to checking in with you again real soon. Okay. Mike writes in, how do I fix my severe gut digestion issues in a functional medicine sense? Well, today's a good starting point, but that's more of a podcast topic. So I'd say go to justinhealth.com, type that in, and go look for a podcast on that topic. But digestion, stress, motility, knocking down the bugs, depending on how inflamed the gut is, that could also be a big thing as well. Can Ibero gas be taken away to help with motility, but also with dysbiosis? Yeah, Ibero gas is a nice bitter, typically taken usually 20 drops or so, 15 to 30 min before food to kind of get the bowels moving. It's helpful. I don't think it would really kill things from a dysbiosis standpoint, but it would help with motility very gently. Good questions. What if you're moving, but it's slow and sludgy? Well, I mean, depending on sludge, you can always try to add more fiber to it. And so you can always try to add more vegetable fiber and make it, on the lower FODMAP side. That can be helpful. You could try that first out of the gates and see how that does. And of course, like half your stool is bacteria. So there may be some bacteria that needs to be addressed. So you can try to increase some of the safer, more plant-based fibers that are less inflammatory. Start there. Good questions. What do you think of this new supplement called Tugga? Yeah, Tugga is just an herb. It's very helpful for gallbladder function. So it can help with gallbladder, motility, and bile production, and helps with breaking down fat. So it's something that can be used on the functional medicine toolbox to help with fat digestion and gallbladder issues. Hey, Mike, you're totally welcome for the info. I hope you guys enjoy it. Try to apply one thing here. If you enjoy it, shoot it over to friends or family. Let me know. Appreciate it. Put your comments below. Let me know kind of future topics that you want to get more intel on. I appreciate it, y'all. Have an awesome day, and you guys take care. I'll put more information below. You want to reach out to myself, my colleagues, to work, to dive in deep, roll up your sleeves, and kind of get to work on some of your health challenges. I'm your person. Hope that helps. Take care, y'all.